Howdy folks, Jeff here, and it's What's Happening in the Shop Wednesday. So I always like to just bring you on and show you what we're doing in the shop, show you what's involved in some repairs, show you what we need. A lot of y'all are going to watch this on the replay because we're going live right now, and Facebook has to do its thing and let you know we're on, and then you have to click on it, and then it goes to it. But anyways, I want to show you what's going on in the shop. The other post that we did is we just recently were asked to be in an article, DFW Shoutouts, and that's by Voyage Magazine. So if y'all see that, go ahead and click on it and read it. It'll tell you a little bit more about us, about our shop, about what we do. But it's also, if you have a business, and no matter what business you're in a business of serving the public, there'll be some tips in there that you might be able to pick up and it'll help you in your business. So let me show you what's going on. We're doing brakes, and I always try to tell you about stuff that you'll think about before it's time to go on a road trip, because you always want to have your brakes checked before you go on a road trip, especially if you're going up to Colorado. You're going to go skiing for spring break. You're going to go up in the mountains. You know, you always want to have great brakes, but you want to have good brakes just on a road trip, because you never know when you're going to get into a lot of traffic and you're going to have to use them. So out in the industry, there's always been a deal with brakes, and this is a derogatory term called pad slap. It's where you just pull the pads off and you just put the other ones on and put it back together. That's a pad slap. That's not a brake job. That's not the proper way to do a brake job. And as you can see, I have a brush here because I've already pulled the rotor off. And a lot of times you'll get some rust and some buildup up underneath here on the hub. This is the hub where your wheel mounts, your tire and your wheel assembly. And you can see some of that coming off of there. And so I go through, and the proper way to do a brake job is to go through and make sure you clean any of that rust off of there, any of that rust build off. This is going to be a little bit bigger job up in the north, where they get a lot of road from the road salt and everything that they put out on the roads during the wintertime. Down here, it's usually if we got a lot of rain or something. Why do we clean this? Well, we want to make sure that this new rotor is going to set flat right here and right here. We don't want any buildup, any residue in there, so that this is going to sit flat. Now, anytime we get these out of the box, we have to clean them. And so as you can see, this has a lot of stuff on it right here. We're going to clean that all off. But I want to show you some of what we do. This is the caliper mounting bracket, and basically this goes back behind here. This is where your brake shoes sit in. And as you can see, I've already cleaned this and we've lubed it up.
Pads or shoes?
This is these are brake pads. Brake shoes are what goes on drums. So if this was a drum, it would be the brake shoes go out here. Brake pads sit out here on the rotor. These are brake pads. Brake shoes more look half moon shaped. So as these go on, this is what these brake pads sit in. And so we want to be able to, we want to make sure that they're able to move freely, because that's what the caliper does. The caliper squeezes those brake pads on the rotor. So we want to clean all the buildup on that, and then we want to put a little special brake lube on there so that those will slide. And the same with on the back part, these bolts that hold this, we want to go in and put some thread lock. You can see the original had this blue on there, and so we always replace and put some more back on it, so when we put those on, they tighten up nice and tight. And the same with the caliper. Now this particular caliper, you see I can just have it sitting right up here where it's not hanging. We don't ever want to hang this by the hose. Then we have all that weight stressing on that hose, and it's just a rubber hose, so it can damage it. So I always have my hooks ready so that if I need to just hang this up here, so it's not hanging. This particular one has pins, caliper pins. So when we bolt this on, the pins will mount in here. And again, we want to lubricate that. We want to clean them off and lubricate them so that that caliper is able to slide on there. And basically, we just put a little lube on there. You don't want to put too much and get it all over the threads. And those just slide back up in here. Sometimes we have to go in and clean those rubber mounts. Sometimes we have to replace those if they're worn out or torn, because we don't want water and dirt going down the road. We're live. That's the customer over there hollering at us. Not hollering at us, but you know how y'all say howdy. That's what we call hollering. And so we put all that on. Like I said, I'm going to spray this, clean this off, and before I put it all back together. But I just want to show you a little bit more of what's involved in doing a correct brake job, getting all of this done right and lube it up properly so that you don't have any problems when you're on the road. As always, I appreciate you watching.